All right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Josh Frey-Sam and Bryce Hunt here with you as always. Welcome inside the janitor's closet for yet another episode. Today we got 5 plays for you guys. We are recording obviously on Sunday, as we have said many times. We're recording the night before a lot of these plays. Recording on Sunday, April 7th, but we got 5 plays for you guys on Monday, April 8th. And Bryce, last time we came to the good people, the TJC faithful. We were wearing some sunglasses. We had the brooms out. It was visor high and stuff like that, which is awesome. Now, we since the last time you guys saw us, we hit a little minor bump, but nothing too crazy. We're 3-4 since the last time you guys saw us, but still very much on a solid run here, Bryce. Being 16-8-1 since opening day. Looking forward to hopefully getting back into the green here and starting up even another run here as we go. Before we get into things here, though, Bryce, as always, we have to take care of some housekeeping here. And once again, we are not professional gamblers. We do not line shop. If you guys want to line shop, please feel free to do so. But all of our plays are coming from Bet365, so please bear that in mind. Also, there's a pop-up that's going to pop up right now, and that is, please follow that. That is, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and please comment on the video if you are tailing the fellas, and also give us a follow on X at TJC Bets, where we are definitely giving away plays as well. Turn on notification bells for both X and YouTube, and you guys will not miss a play all year long. Bryce, let's get into this thing here. I think we're oh, you know what? Actually, one last thing. There's so many things I gotta take care of with the housekeeping here. One last thing. We're following the same protocol as we have been for the past few videos. So, with that being said, at this very moment, at the time of recording, some of the odds are not posted for what we are betting. However, we do have a prediction that we are going to be basing our plays on. So, if the lines, the odds do not, or if they are too expensive, they do not match up, they're not what we end up looking for, then we will pull plays, we will alter plays, we will do all that stuff, but we will post that on X to communicate with you guys as to what it is that we are actually doing. But we do have our tentative plays for Monday, April 8th. So, with that being said, let's get into it, Bryce. Here we're starting with Seattle and Toronto. We're starting here in Canada with our Toronto Blue Jays, where the fellas are starting up their home opener. This is their home opener at the Rogers Center here. 4-6 Seattle visiting 4-6 Toronto. What do we have here?
Yeah, I think the faithful know we're from Canada by now, and that means we get a little bit of a closer look at this Toronto Blue Jays team, maybe than any other organization in the league. I try and keep a close tab on everybody, but just naturally, that's kind of what gets pumped out most our TVs and our phones and all that stuff. So we've already faded them 3 times. We're 3-0 in those games, so we kind of get to know a little bit of their what they struggle with, some things that they do well. And Josh, if we were talking about the series they had in Houston, the series they had in New York, this team cannot hit a changeup if their life depended on it. It is one of the it's becoming a crazy development just how much they're struggling with that pitch, and they're going to run into Luis Castillo on Monday night, who throws one of the best in the game. He's got a great record against the Jays. He shut them out in the playoffs that one year in the wild card series, I believe 2 years ago. So needless to say, the play here is going to be Seattle, Toronto. The first 5 innings under. We're looking at under 4. You kind of touched on it. We're frustrated that it's taken so long to get these baseball first 5 lines out this year. It seems like they're really waiting for the last minute this year.
Yeah.
We try and get this video out in enough time for you guys to be able to watch it and not have to wake up too early if there's an afternoon game. In this case, there's not. But we like to get these videos out in good time for you guys, and we still got to get to bed because we got to get to work tomorrow and all that. So it's a little bit frustrating when these lines aren't, but I'm just rambling at this point. All that to say, we want the first 5 under 4. If it's at 3.5, our model still has it as a play, but we're going to have to do a little bit of some more research into that before we would make that an official play. If it's first 5 under 4, under 4.5, all that, we're taking it. I talked a little about Luis Castillo. Jose Barrios was really good against Tampa and Houston. He's working on a new cutter. We've talked about that here before. His
Mhm.
sweeper has been great. His fastball command has been great. And the Seattle offense is not what Houston's nor Tampa Bay's is. So he should, in theory, be better. He'll have the energy of Toronto's home opener. And Luis Castillo is just dominant. First five under four to get our day going here with Toronto and Seattle.
Yeah, we've touched on in the past that we obviously have the model that we're basing it off of, and then we're going off your expertise as well. But if the early goings, like you touched on, if the early goings of Toronto are any indication, this model might be pumping out a lot of first five unders for the Toronto Blue Jays until the bats start waking up a little bit. I digress, though, Bryce. Let's go to the ATL. New York Mets are struggling, and they are visiting the Atlanta Braves on Monday, who are not struggling. What do we have over there in the ATL?
Well, we're once again rolling with Uncle Charlie. Julio Teheran is going to be back in Braves country, but we are going to be rolling with Uncle Charlie and those Atlanta Braves first five minus a half. We won't take this at 1.5 if it's there. We'll stick with I mean, hopefully the next four plays that we're going to be pumping out here are all team lines. We're going to hope for minus a half. We're not going to go to 1.5, and we're hopefully going to get some minus 0.0s to protect against the push just to get out of the way.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Mets offense is in a really bad spot, and the Braves offense is in a really good spot without Ronald Acuna. I think he has one stolen base and no home runs yet, and that lineup 2 through 9 is still getting theirs and putting up plenty of runs. I've been super impressed. I think I shot you a
Yeah.
text today just talking
Yeah.
about how impressed I've been with their 6 through 9 hitters at this point. There's no breaks in that offense. Then you have to go with Austin Riley, Matt Olson, Marcelo Zuna can still get his. This lineup's impressive, and we're banking on Charlie Morton again. We had him against the White Sox offense, and he was able to roll through five for us, shutout, and we're going to bank him against the Mets offense, who is not great as well. Atlanta Braves first five minus a half.
Perfect. Like the Braves, Bryce, we are once again going to be going to a play that involves the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, despite the Dodgers being 8-4, having an 8-4 record on the year, they haven't been too kind to us to start the season. But they are visiting the 3-4 Minnesota Twins on Monday. So well, I guess we'll see what we got there. What do we like over there in Mini?
Yeah, it is getting a little bit exhausting pumping out Braves and Dodgers plays for these bets. But like you mentioned, we are just playing our model, right? It's been great to us so far. And despite the Dodgers having a third of our losses to this point in the year, we
Crazy.
are going to be riding with them again to cover against a Minnesota offense that again
Yeah.
hasn't found its footing. Bailey Ober got crushed in his first outing of the year. I like Bailey Ober. I think he's going to have a nice year, a nice run with Minnesota there, but he really got beat up bad, and even mentally that can mess you up when you have such high hopes coming into the season, not to have it go your way, and then your bounce back game is coming against the Los Angeles Dodgers, who might be the worst offense to try and get a bounce back game against.
Yeah.
They all crush righties, they all crush fastballs, which is the pitch that got him into trouble in his first start, and yeah, James Paxton's going to be going for us in this one. Just hoping that he can, let his offense do the work, right? It's like our issues with LA, it seems like they give up like 8 or 9 innings, or sorry, 8 or 9 runs in the first 5 innings in the losses that we have. Like they kind of tend to blow up, I guess, in that regard. But
Yeah.
we're going to be taking them first five minus a half, hoping James Paxton can settle down and the boys can get going against Bailey Ober tomorrow.
Yeah, our losses with the Dodgers have not been as a result of what's going on at the plate for the fellas. It's definitely what's been going on the bump for us. But anyways, we're going to be going to a series. There's a lot of these series, Bryce, on Monday. They're starting new ones, right? On Monday. To Sunday's obviously getaway day for a lot of these teams. But the Houston Astros and the Texas Rangers are not a part of that contingent. They are going to be wrapping up a 4-game series in a Battle of Texas on Monday, and the Astros at this time they're actually 2-7 at the time of recording, but I'd probably say, I don't know if you'd agree with me, that there's a team below 500 that I'm probably not worried about at this point in time. It's probably the Houston Astros. I don't know what you say about that, but we got obviously a play in the final game of this 4-game series.
Yeah, it was a tough start for Houston out the gates in that four-gamer against the Yankees, but
Yeah,
you play 162 and there's really no time to panic until maybe late July, August in there. So they'll
yeah.
be fine, and they're gonna have Framber Valdez on the mound. He got us a win on this channel in his last start, and we're hoping he can do it again. We're taking Houston's first five minus a half. His changeup was really incredible. We mentioned it before, that was against the Jays, so maybe that grades out a little bit better in that regard. But the Astros shouldn't have much of an issue with Andrew Heaney, despite he had a decent outing last time. I think we faded him last time.
Hmm.
I think we had an over in that game or something, but
Yeah.
he was pretty good. He was able to survive and he was able to find the strike zone a little bit more. He got a couple more chases out the zone. Houston's not going to chase for him. I know they have a couple lefties, but Jordan and Kyle Tucker both handle lefties as left-handed hitters, so it's not really too big of an issue for us there. We're going to take Houston's first five minus a half. The model really it likes both of these offenses. We've had a lot of plays for each team, but this really comes down to Framber Valdez out pitching Andrew Heaney in the first five.
All right, love to see it. And we got one more for you guys for this Monday, April 8th edition of the episode. We're ending in the Rockies, where we got the Arizona Diamondbacks are starting a 3-game series against Colorado, Bryce. What do we got out there?
Yeah, this one might be my favorite of our five plays. Maybe it's just because it's a team that we're not usually betting on, but
Yeah.
it's a fun one nonetheless. It's going to be Zach Gallen and Kyle Freeland. Arizona just is coming from Atlanta where they were competitive, but things didn't really go their way. Kind of fell apart at the end, but they were competing with a really good Braves team, obviously. The model has the D-backs to win the first five by 3 runs. There's always an asterisk beside games played at Coors Field, but yeah, just as some statistics here, in 6 career outings against Colorado in Coors Field, Zach Gallen has a 2.43 ERA with 40 strikeouts. So he hasn't had any issues with the altitude. Um, Arizona's offense just saw a lefty in Chris Sale, and they were able to get two or three. I think it might only be two, but the left-handed lineups ready. That they've gotten reps. They've seen it from the left side against one of the best of all time. I think this is a little bit of barbecue chicken here against Kyle Freeland. I'm hoping, and we're hoping Zach Gallen can keep doing his thing in Colorado. We're still waiting for these lines to open up, but there are a couple player props that I really love in Arizona. Hopefully, we can get a ladder challenge out tonight,
Yeah.
but we'll obviously see how that goes. The plays Arizona first five minus a half. A little bit scared that this one might go to a 1.5 just because the Rockies are really struggling early, but
Yeah.
we're hoping we can get Arizona first five minus half.
There you go. Like we said, we will definitely keep you guys posted if any of these plays are changing. Keep locked in on our X account at TJC Bets. Put the noties on just so you know if and when we are changing them immediately. But that is going to do it for us on today's episode. Glad you made the plug there for our ladder challenge there, Bryce. We obviously hit step 3, which is awesome. And step 4 will be coming in due time. I know a few of you guys are a little bit giddy. You guys are bugging us a little bit on when step 3 was coming around. I'm sure you guys will be bugging us for step 4 as well. So we will be sure to get that out to you guys in due time. Patience, please, with that one. And other than that, we got the under in the Seattle-Toronto game. And then we've got first 5 minus 0.5 for the Braves, Atlanta Braves, Los Angeles Dodgers, Houston Astros, and the Arizona Diamondbacks here on Monday, April 8th. Bryce, let's have one. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you guys on the next episode, whenever that is here, hopefully within the next couple of days. Take care until then.